Hi, this is Danielle, spiritual reader and educator, and I am here with Kelliena. And Kelliena is from Nova Scotia. She is a psychic, and I've had the privilege of having readings from you, and I really appreciate your gift, and I really recognize your valid integrity with them too. And so for today, we're going to ask Kelliena a few questions about her gifts and what she's focusing on right now and what she thinks is important to share with the spiritual community. So where I want to start, Kelliena, is discussing how you perceive psychic experiences to be very normal. Okay. So if you want to share anything there.
Sure. Well, I believe everyone is psychic. I believe everyone has a gift. I believe everyone has seen the guardians. I believe everyone has seen spirit. I don't believe it's given to a select few or it's gifted or anything like that. I think everyone it's almost like everyone's forgotten their abilities. And I think also too society kind of programs us to go against it. We're taught to be very logical from birth. Like, everything has to be A, B, C, D. When it comes to energy, when it comes to psychic energy, that's not the way it works.
Yeah.
It can be very random, it can be very scattered, and it can be very much in the moment. But logically, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't. We should be finishing things. A lot of intuitives, we're probably on the same page, where we don't finish things. Like we won't finish a book, or we'll have 10 books on the go, because that's just normal for us. That's what we do. So I believe everyone has this, where you can feel energy, you can feel the guardians with them.
I love that. Something else that I want to touch on with you too, Kelliena, is what excites you about the spiritual community right now?
Well, what I'm very excited about is I've been doing readings for 20 years. So one thing I've noticed is that there's a change. Like back at the beginning, a lot of it was kind of like, well, what about money? What about love and stuff like that, which is that's important. But what I've noticed, and this is what gets me excited, is that people are asking more about, well, how do I work on my gifts? How do I work on myself? How do I understand who I am, my past lives? So I notice that there's a definite change, which is just, it's amazing. It's beautiful.
That is beautiful. Wow. That's so, there's so much integrity with that and exploring that and really understanding your own personal growth, and I love that. I totally see why you appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's good, because to me, like, being psychic, for someone to be psychic, to be psychic is to have the courage to find the truth. It's about stepping into, taking out the fear and stepping into, okay, who am I? Where is that going? So that's how I kind of see psychic energy.
Nice. I love that. Where are you focusing? Like in the next year of 2017, where are you kind of focusing? Because I know for myself, from year to year, sometimes I'm focusing on like a certain kind of workshop. So this year I'm focusing on spiritual development. But where are you focusing next year?
Actually, I got spiritual. I feel like I need to train more. I feel like I need to do more meditations. Qigong is very, very strong with me lately, so I need to do that. I'm doing more acupuncture, just to open up my chakras, open up my energy more. Qigong, Reiki training, stuff like that. So I feel like I need to train. That's really strong.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that there's so much demand and that you're feeling the pull there. Because obviously there's that, it's like that magnetic kind of feeling for the people who are calling for it from their souls, and then you're hearing it and providing that. That's great. I also want to point out too, I'm surprised it took me so long, we're sitting here in the beautiful space of Angels Essentials in Bedford, Nova Scotia, and the energy in here is so beautiful. I stepped into the workshop space. You just did a workshop in there. And it was beautiful. There's just, I don't think I've ever been in a workshop space that I thought the energy was so clear and so vibrant. So I'm really happy about that. And so if you're ever in Nova Scotia, definitely check out her store if you're looking for spiritual books or crystals and stones to work with. And I find Danielle, the owner here, very grounding, and I really like her as a person, and she's definitely someone to meet and have on your map. Something else I do want to focus on with you, Kelliena, which I'd like to ask throughout this series, is I want to break down in 3 parts. What would you say to someone who doesn't believe in spirituality at all to kind of help open them up or consider that?
Well, the first one, I would have to make sure that they come to me. Like, I wouldn't go to someone and just sort of present that to them if they weren't comfortable. So if they came to me and just said, look, I don't really believe in this, or I'm not comfortable with this, what do you say? What I would say at that point is I would start with, well, do you believe in love? Do you believe, I would start there and just say, well, just go with your views on love. What do you feel? And go Because there's no, the thing is with this, with psychic energy, with love, there's no wrong way. There's no wrong way to do this.
Yeah.
So if someone's not quite in the cup of tea, whether it's psychic or tarot or whatever, that's okay. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
But what is your love? And
Yes.
that's where I would get them to start.
I love that. As soon as you said that, I've never heard anyone start there. And I think that that's so the right place to begin. And it's so comfortable and it's so inspiring, and it just feels beautiful to talk about too when you're really coming from that sincere place and exploring that. So I love that. What would you say to someone who wants to believe but doesn't? So they're kind of in that middle ground of wondering about, ether and spirit. And
I would do the same thing with the love. Start with your love. But I would say, well, why are you not believing? Because usually at that point, usually it's the fear, or they don't trust themselves. It's usually that route.
Yeah.
When it's why I would get them to kind of explore that. But well, is there something scare you about this? Because a lot of times, because they don't want to see anything bad,
yeah.
or they don't want to hear anything negative. And when it comes to energy, real readings, real energy, they don't speak of anything negative. They speak more about your path, your power. So it's a really good energy. So if you ever went to a reader where they gave negative energies or whatever, I can almost guarantee that's not the guardians. That's probably ego or
Yes.
whatever. So
100%. Yeah, I really like that. What would you say to someone right now who does believe in spirit? What would you tell them to encourage them, or what would you want to deepen in their understanding?
What I would say to them is, number one, no, there's no wrong way. Go with what you feel, because it's very random. Like the thing with spiritual energy, you could be you might wake up and be like, oh, I really want to learn how to make a pizza, or the next thing you might be like, I want to get into yoga. That could all become part of it. So there's no wrong way into it.
Love it. That's awesome. The last thing that I want to touch on with you, Kelliena, is something that I've had a very interesting personal relationship, and I've been really growing to appreciate on a deeper level. Is what do you feel is important about keeping spiritual experiences to yourself? Like, where is that sacredness line drawn for people?
Well, I personally believe that unless someone asks you, keep it to you. Because I think, unless it's something like where it's like I had a dream, or something where it's like, okay, are you okay if I share this? Because there's a very big thing where ask permission. Make sure this person's okay. Because if you present your experience or your translation and they're not ready, or they're not interested, they lose it. So, and then it could become something else. So what I would recommend in that situation is, if you translate an aura, keep it to yourself. And just kind of feel, okay, is this for me? Because sometimes we pick up on things, it's just meant for us. It's just meant that, pay mind to this, and then go from there.
That's awesome. I really love that. Is there anything else that you want to add before closing up? I definitely want to make sure people know where to find you. So, Kelliena Psychic Readings on Facebook.
I do daily readings. It's free on Facebook group, and it's just know, like with the guardians, they want you to be happy. They're about you knowing your power, knowing who you are, and finding your happiness. That's what we're here for, and that's the big thing.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much, Kelliena.
You.
You're welcome. Thanks for watching. Take good care.